Today is Friday the 13th, so I figured what better time than now to rank all the movies in the Friday the 13th franchise, from the worst to the best. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Cinema Sermons. My name is Kevin. I try to make content on this channel that both Christians and non-Christians can enjoy. And if you are wondering why I'm talking about horror movies, check out my card up here somewhere for Can Christians Watch Horror Movies? I explain why in that video. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this franchise where more of the movies are bad than they are good. Coming in last place is Jason Goes to Hell. This is one of the worst movies I have ever seen. It makes Jason a slug that takes over people's bodies, and somehow the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead is involved, and there's this lore about only someone from Jason's family can kill him. It's a bad movie, and it comes in at number 12. Coming in at number 11, just barely above it, is Jason Takes Manhattan, or as Cody Leach calls it, Jason Takes a Boat Ride to Manhattan. This movie takes most of its time on a boat with very unmemorable characters. Jason is weird and covered in goo and somehow turns into a little kid again at the end of the movie. It's weird, it's not any good, and it comes in at number 11. Coming in at number 10 is Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. This is when they used a different killer other than Jason, and Roy's this copycat killer, and it just doesn't work. They try to do the murder mystery whodunit, but it doesn't make any sense because there's no build up to, oh, it might be this person or it might be this person. So when the ending is revealed, you're just like, who's that guy again? It just doesn't make any sense. And again, just unmemorable, not good characters. So it comes in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is Jason X. Now, if you understand how bad this movie is, you can actually have fun with it. If you watch it as a movie that you're trying to make fun of, you can actually have a lot of fun with it. This is where Jason goes to space and becomes Uber Jason. This has got some actually pretty decent characters for this franchise anyway, and it plays with the concept. It knows it's Jason in space, and it has a lot of fun with it, but it's still a horrible movie, but it's a horrible movie that's fun to watch, and it comes in at number 9. Number 8 is Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, and this was their take on Jason versus Carrie, and Tina is your Carrie character. The only redeeming quality about this movie is this is where we see Kane Hodder take up the mantle of Jason. He is the scariest looking Jason. He's a very cool looking Jason, and he brings awesome physicality to the character, and he does all of his own stunts in the movie, which makes it more enjoyable to watch. And that brings it in at number 7, because it's still just a bad movie. Number 7 is Friday the 13th, Part 3, 3D. Most of this movie sucks, but the third act is actually pretty entertaining and action-packed. And this is the movie where Jason gets his iconic hockey mask. But for the first 2/3 of the movie, you have to deal with insufferable characters, horrible plot line, and really bad acting.
A new dimension in terror.
But it's not as bad as the ones before it, so it comes in at number 7. Number 6 is the original Friday the 13th. The idea of this mother who lost her son because counselors were off doing things they shouldn't have been doing, and then goes crazy and wants to kill the counselors of this new camp who had nothing to do with her son's death is actually a very interesting idea. It plays on that murder mystery whodunit, and you have no idea who the killer is until the end of the movie when she's revealed for the first time. But it's interesting because we haven't seen a female slasher killer yet. So that comes in at number, what number is it? Number 6. Number 5 is going to be Freddy versus Jason. Again, pretty bad acting, a lot of bad CGI. This movie is very early 2000s, but you can have a lot of fun with it. If you understand that the concept is ridiculous, it's just an excuse to get Freddy and Jason on the screen together. It's a good time. Now, it's definitely more of a it's definitely more of a Freddy movie than it is a Jason movie, but you can still have a lot of fun with it. Number 4 is going to be Friday the 13th, Part 2. This is where Jason makes his debut as the villain of the franchise. He doesn't have the hockey mask yet. He wears like a sack on his head, and it's a very big murder mystery whodunit, and it's actually a pretty decent movie. Again, pretty cheap, not great acting, but that's why they made these movies, is because they were cheap to make and turned over a huge profit. And that comes in at number 4. Number 3 is actually most people's answer for what is the best Friday the 13th movie, but for me, number 3 is going to be Friday the 13th Part 4, The Final Chapter. It takes everything that the first 3 movies did and perfects it. This is the last time that we see human Jason. It introduces Tommy Jarvis as the final boy, as well as his sister to play a final girl. It's the one where Jason just smashes through that door all angry. And this one, the cast of characters actually feels like a group of friends. It makes it a little more organic, and it makes it easier to watch. It is shot a little too dark for my liking, but it does have some of the best characters in the franchise. And that comes in at number 3. Number 2 is going to be the 2009 Friday the 13th remake. It takes all 4 of the original movies and wraps them up into one. It hits all the beats that you want from a Friday the 13th movie, and it has Sam Winchester in it, Jared Padalecki, and Daniel Panabaker. And Daniel Panabaker is very pretty in this movie, so yeah. That brings it in at number 2. But coming in at number 1 for me is Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. This is the part in the franchise where they realized how ridiculous it was getting, so they decided to have fun with it. This movie is very tongue-in-cheek. It plays with the idea of what they're doing, and they have fun with it. But they never make fun of Jason. It actually has some of the best imagery of Jason looking scary and still very menacing. Tommy Jarvis goes from a final boy into a final man, and then Megan is a decent enough final girl. Still has some really bad acting at a lot of scenes, but it's very tongue-in-cheek. It plays with the idea, and this is the only movie in the franchise that doesn't show any nudity. So when I'm in the mood for a Friday the 13th movie, this is the one I put in every time. And in my opinion, is the best movie in the franchise.
Darren, we better turn around.
Why?
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
But that is all I have for today. Please let me know down below, what is your favorite Friday the 13th movie? My list isn't the right list, it's just my list, in the words of the awesome Sean Chandler. So please let me know down below your list. Either give me a ranking of all 12 movies, or just let me know your favorite. Are you gonna watch the fan films, Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in Snow, and now Never Hike Alone 2, which is on its way? Please let me know down in the comments. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It helps out the channel tremendously. And remember, I love you, Jesus loves you. That's our story and we're sticking to it. See you guys.